What's the matter, Karen? Did you have too much to drink at the Edelman's?
No.
I guess I just needed tonight to share myself with our friends before I leave. Did you have a bad time because of it?
I don't know. I'm just freaking out because we don't communicate anymore. And now you're leaving for another month. We rarely act like ourselves anymore.
I'm sorry. You know how anxious I get before these trips. Did you see how much brandy I drank at dinner?
Don't you remember how we used to walk the city streets in ecstasy? Now I tend to lose myself most days wondering how we ended up with this distance.
Karen, how many couples keep up their puppy love for 12 years? Besides, how many other couples have a brilliant son, hilarious friends, a fantastic apartment, liberal educations?
But we wouldn't have any of that if we hadn't established a spiritual connection.
Spiritual connection?
A sort of harmony of purpose and reason in a relationship. Not the feeling that nothing else matters in the world except two people's emotions, but the idea that everything matters because their feelings are strong enough to be channeled into forces which benefit everyone. Also, a congruence between passion, intimacy, and commitment. When you kept cutting me off at dinner, I couldn't help but long to communicate on that unique plane that we created in the early years of our relationship.
Yeah, but you're saying that people need another person to complete them. I'm sorry, Karen, but that sounds like something out of a 1950s home ec textbook or the rantings of a sexist preacher.
That's not what I meant to say.
Well, can you recall a time when you felt we spiritually communicated?
There was an instance that I keep coming back to. Sean had just been born, and I was able to see a side of myself that I'd missed for many months.
think I remember that day. Right before we met at the Legs, I had a meeting with Kent DePaolo, the lead editor at International Lens. We went over my portfolio and he offered me that first photography job at the Winter Olympics in Nagano. As soon as I got to the slopes with my camera, I found my own sort of harmony between purpose and reason.
Can't you just be yourself when you're around us? I get this horrible feeling inside my body when you stop connecting with me like we used to.
For all of my childhood and young adulthood, I longed to be in love with someone else. I'd spent countless nights wide awake wishing for someone to appear in my bed and just listen to me. When I finally got that, I felt something was, lost. I'd forgotten that I was an individual and that my mission was to channel the wonders of the world into art. International Lens is one of the premier collections of art ever assembled, and it gets me out there.
How do you justify abandoning your wife and your child?
I never intended it to happen that way. When we married and had Sean, I thought I'd spend the rest of my life working here locally and occasionally having a show at a gallery in the city. And I knew that I could probably be happy and that I could make both of you happy. But seeing the world has given me far greater pleasures. I've photographed almost every cathedral in Paris. I've seen a herd of elephants attacked by lions in the bush. I've spent days in crowded refugee camps in war-torn regions of Somalia and Darfur.
So what do we do now?
I really have to get some sleep. I need to be up and out of here by 6 a.m. I'm sorry this all came out now. Can we continue talking about it when I get back?